AfterBuzz TV Network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show right here, right now on AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm your host, Kathy Kelly. This is the AfterBuzz Raw Takeover.
That's right.
Yeah.
We fired Katz.
He's gone.
Somebody heard it first.
Yes.
There was a little beef between some of our co-hosts.
Yeah.
But let me introduce my current co-host right now, Ryan.
I'm still here.
Cookie Klum.
Cookie?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm giving you new nicknames.
I get cookies
They're all
now?
pastries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Josh,
It's better than the Colonel.
What would I be?
Josh Twinkie Paget.
Oh. Twinkies are coming back, I hear, too.
No.
No, they are. They're bringing Twinkie. Someone
Josh
just bought
Ho-Ho
Twinkies.
Paget.
The what?
Oh. The ho-ho train pageant.
That's right.
So tonight, Raw was live from Philadelphia, sold out stadium.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Started off tonight with a package previewing Rock vs. Cena and CM Punk vs. Undertaker. Overall, I want to hear your overall thoughts though first.
I thought it was better than last week, but
That's
still,
not saying much.
No, because last week I think was, as we said, the worst Raw we'd ever seen together. But I mean, it was a step up, but it still didn't feel like a great Mania lead up. I think there was some good moments, but it wasn't an amazing Raw overall to me.
Yeah, last week was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, one, because I wasn't here to watch it with you guys. Right?
Yeah, because we fired Josh
The
last
after
week.
show was terrible too.
But yeah, it was that was abysmal. I remember like one of our early Raws together was probably the worst one I've ever seen.
Right.
Where I was really pissed off, like in July or sometime during the summer. I was just pissed, and yeah, I'm glad.
You're always angry.
I'm glad I didn't make last week's because that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, today, you know, obviously, if you're in the dumps, like how much better you could have been, but you know, it was better. It was better this week. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, there were some good spots tonight. I like.
You're mad because we're still missing Maddox. I'm mad about that.
Hey,
Oh yeah, no Maddox.
Give Maddox this. No, come on now. That wasn't his fault. That was a terrible
All the
segment.
blame went on him though.
But they're still
Not fair.
They're still doing, I think, some of those Maddox segments on the app.
active.
And they're gold.
And they're
gold.
amazing.
Yeah.
I send them. Have you been watching those?
I need to watch him.
Oh, you're the big Maddox fan.
no.
You haven't been watching his stuff?
I know. Whatever you guys send to me, I watch.
Okay.
So we started off the night with the package previewing Cena and Rock and CM Punk and Undertaker. And then Michael Cole reminds us that we are 13 days away from WrestleMania, which it doesn't really feel like.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of WrestleMania, should we
What?
plug our live event that
think
we
we
have
should.
at the
Yeah.
John Lovitz Comedy Club in Universal City?
Oh, sit down, everyone. Sit down.
Thank you.
I can't wait for this. This is going to be so much fun.
So it is a 400-person theater. We are going to have it absolutely packed and have all of your favorite AfterBuzzers there, from our crew to, you know.
Hopefully we'll have people from the other
shows on here, yeah.
and the other
Smackdown.
wrestling
And
shows,
some
SmackDown
special
and main
guests.
event. And
We have some special guests lined up.
is there anyone we can announce yet?
We can announce our first announcement.
Okay.
Jesse Heyman.
Jesse Heyman.
I almost mispronounced it because it's spelled differently than
Did you
would
see
think.
and I didn't watch the video, but he actually made online a bit today. He was in another video making out with Jamie Presley.
My goodness.
Yeah.
He's making the rounds.
I know.
I mean, he made out with Jay Leno. He made out with. Did you see that?
I missed that. What?
Jay Leno,
I think he
didn't
kissed
he kiss
Jay Leno.
Maria?
Yeah, he kissed Maria, our boss, Maria Menounos.
Yeah. But not Kathy Kelly last week on
Well, you're just
going to
have to come to the live event and see what happens.
Oh,
There
no.
it is.
There we go.
I see why.
Is that what we call a foreshadow?
Make it happen. It's
Is
got to
that
happen
a promo?
now.
I don't know. Okay, moving on. So Michael Cole said we're 13 days away from WrestleMania. Cult of Personality starts playing. Punk walks out. He seems like he has a bit of a limp, but makes his way to the ring.
He's beat up a bit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell.
and we're hearing that after Mania he's going to have some time off possibly, which is well needed because he's carried the company on his back for the last year.
So what do you think he's going to do in the time off? Is he just going to rest up and then come back, or?
I'm sure that's what he's supposed to do. Who knows what he will do? But and who knows? Sometimes guys have to rush back because if you could have some injuries where they have to get him back quicker. So who knows? But yeah, I think they want to rest him up a bit.
He definitely needs some sleep.
He needs it. Yeah.
Take care of himself. So Heyman also comes out, and he looks like he has a little bit of a black eye on the left side.
He got the now that was one of the good things last week was he got the crap kicked out of him by Triple H. Oh my God, yeah, that's what we call stiff in the business. Yeah,
it was a little weird though, like a grown man ripping another grown man's like shirt off, and I'm like, leave him alone. Like he's not a wrestler, like so it looks weird. He's just like flat, like laid out like a tortoise. I was like, ooh. But yeah, when he took that
real.
pin,
he
and, like,
took that though.
it.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still talking about it, so they did something there. So
He's still
So you
healing.
definitely had a shiner.
it's great.
They're tossing the urn around back and
was funny.
forth. You like that?
Yeah.
Well,
I like it, and a lot of people, it's totally disrespectful, and that's why I like it.
And then at one point, CM Punk does like the Heisman with the urn in his hands. I like that.
And did they just throw it into the ring? I think it felt
Heyman threw it
just like
to
tossed
Punk,
it, and he dropped it. Yeah.
So they said this means everything to the Undertaker. It doesn't mean anything to me. Punk drops the urn, and you said that, or was it Josh? You said that Heyman was like, pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah, Heyman's like leaning up on the ropes, like, pick it up, come on. And then people started chanting ECW.
Yes.
We're in Philadelphia, you know, it's a big ECW.
And what did Punk say? He turned around and said something to those fans.
He turned around and looked at Heyman and said, speaking of dead guy.
Okay,
yeah, dead man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he said.
Or the dead or something.
He said something, but he said it off mic. He kind of put the mic down and said something to him, and he got a reaction.
Like,
He got a reaction from the ECW crowd that was there. Do you know? I don't know if since you're a new wrestling fan in Philly. You've heard of ECW, right? That is where basically Philadelphia is where ECW came out of.
Oh.
So anytime they're in Philly,
hardcore
ECW chants always come in. Hey, Paul Heyman was the mastermind behind ECW.
Did either of you catch the poster being thrown up during the segment that said, "Someone mizzed on me"?
No.
That's disgusting.
That's not as good as the one from last week, though. That was a good
one. What was it?
Did you watch? Did you actually watch us last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it.
The pee in her butt.
I still like Someone Mizzed on Me. I think that's funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. So Punk essentially says there's no one in the world who will beat me at WrestleMania. I'm just waiting for the lights to go out. Obviously foreshadowing what's about to happen. Lights go out after he says, "Rest in peace to your perfect record." And then
he's like, I've never been afforded rest. I've never been allowed to.
It looks like
I've never had peace in my life. Like, rest in peace doesn't scare me.
Yeah, and he said, was it history will not be rewritten by a man, or will be rewritten by a man not afraid of the dark or fazed by the Undertaker's unbeaten streak, but by the best in the world.
He was amazing tonight.
Yeah, he's always
so
good.
I mean, like tonight especially though, he was like on top of his game.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll get into this later, and I complain about this every week, but think of how awesome this is. To me, right now, this should be the main event of WrestleMania. Punk should still have the title. Because as we see later on, the Rock Cena doesn't need the title. It's not about the title. That's not what the story is. The story is about redemption. And if Punk stole the title, streak for streak, this thing would just be, it could be the biggest match of all time. And the way they're building up to this is really the most interesting match of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But to go against that, like after seeing what John Cena and The Rock have been able to do the past 2 months, they need the title there because there's nothing going on with this.
I disagree.
Thing. I mean, me and you, I was right there with you from like all
they
last
haven't
year.
used
like
it.
that's what that match. If Punk's gonna face Undertaker, it's got to be streak versus streak. But right now, it's like God. Cena and Rock, that thing is stale as hell. I mean, after 1 week with Fandango and Jericho, and we'll get to that next. I'm more psyched about their match than anything The Rock and Cena. There's more heat with Jericho. I mean, yeah, there's nothing going on with that. So you need the championship.
No, the fact that no one's excited about the main event at WrestleMania means that, I mean, if you have such low expectations, it's going to be better than your expectations.
And I gotta say, I completely disagree with you about it needing the championship 100% because this has nothing to do with the title. The story is about Cena's redemption. That is where the story is about. The story is about Cena's redemption, and he actually got into some good stuff at the very end of the show. And that's what it's about. It's about Cena having that bug about having lost last year. The title means nothing. So having the title in there, that's not the main story. So it's just a prop right now. It's the title is not elevating this program by any means. If you took the belt out, it's the same as it was, and it's not the main story. Now, if you had the title back over on the program with Undertaker and CM Punk, you've got streak versus streak. You've got this epic long run, and it elevates it to the main event, which it should be over what we saw last year.
Right, but the streak of Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania, you don't need the title there. That's almost like a title in itself.
Right.
And the thing is, like,
but streak for streak makes it more important.
He was the WWE champion, 10-time WWE champ forever, and Punk beat him at Money in the Bank. And it's been like 2 years since.
How has this elevated it?
And he's never been able to. He hasn't been champ since. He can't.
But how have they used that? How have they used that in the story? How have they actually used the title that Cena wants that title? How often has it been mentioned that is what he is going for?
True, they're doing a bad job with that.
But that's not what the story is.
And they should have been. They should have done a lot more theatrics with him tossing that spinner back. Tossing that out. This is Cena's belt.
It's not about the title.
They've done it poorly. But I'm gonna have to say, like, yeah, I was all about streak versus streak. But now looking at this, like,
throw a title in there just because it needs it. It just they need the title, so let's throw it on there when it doesn't fit the story. It doesn't fit the story.
Look at the chances, like what Smiley was saying, like, oh, now you can have the title at the red carpet.
Okay, do we want to talk about that?
The Tonight Show, right?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Leno. Let's talk about Nickelodeon and the world champion that didn't even mention it, that didn't even have the title with him. That was the argument, and you just made up a great point.
It's like you have all these great ideas, like what Smiley said, what he said, what I'm saying, and they're not doing it right.
Do you think that Rock's just coming back to WWE to promo his own stuff, and he doesn't give a shit?
It's just those are set up by the movie studio, so he's really can't do that.
Shots on that.
So the idea of this, like, oh, he's going to have it on the red carpet, to me, from the beginning was fantasy. If you know anything about that stuff, if they actually fooled themselves to thinking The Rock was going to do that, they're stupid. Because if you know anything about that stuff, you think, I forget, is it Paramount, whoever's doing G.I. Joe, is going to share their time? Well, can I do 30 seconds on WrestleMania? No, we're paying you tens of millions of dollars. You are promoting our stuff. We don't care about wrestling.
Right.
So
that's the filthy
But it should be plug for plug. I mean, he's plugging all of his movies on WWE, so shouldn't they give him a couple minutes to? Because they know the value in the WWE
Hollywood
fans, and that all of them are going to go see Rock's movies. So.
But they're not. So they're not doing that.
Well, now we've got some silver lining there after the debacle on Tonight Show there with Leno. Jimmy Fallon, right? He's like, look, if everyone, Leno booked Dwayne, I'm gonna book The Rock.
Right.
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's great, and I love that. I love that too. But it doesn't make it better. It's too late. This whole thing has been, I think, misdone from the beginning with the title. Yeah. I don't mean to keep. I harp on this every week, and I'm sure I'm gonna get killed for once again giving a hard time about this. But
getting back to Raw. Tonight, lights go out. Undertaker's on stage and starts beating on Punk.
This is great.
In the ring, beating the crap crap out of him.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I loved it too.
A lot of energy, and we didn't have to have that long intro of Undertaker
Walking down. Yeah, no, it was like boom.
Just
and
very
he looks
fast,
great,
yeah.
right?
Oh, he looks
Great
really
shape.
good. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. You know, he's had like 2 back surgeries this past year, and I was like, take the year off. But no, this is Mark Calloway, man. He's the man. He can. This is the Undertaker we're talking about. That man was in Death Valley, clanging and banging, man. It's so good. So he looks
You
great.
love to say clanging and banging.
That's right, brother. Yeah, man. EBLB, eat big, lift big.
Yeah.
So
180.
Heyman runs off stage.
Very funny.
Very,
Just
very fast.
grabs the urn,
I
takes
didn't even
off.
think that was possible for him to run that fast. I mean, he flew out of there. CM Punk kind of follows after he gets a little beat down with the urn in hand. And didn't get the urn
Safely.
back. Yeah. Cult of Personality plays again.
Got a stiff shot, right, Ryan? Did you see the stiff elbow
he was
shot?
hit, like holding
that
his
Undertaker
ear.
gave him?
Did you?
No, I
Yeah,
missed
he was
that.
holding his left ear.
Oh, really?
Got a nasty
the end of it.
elbow in there into the turnbuckle. That
I
was
did
pretty
not
good.
see that.
But yeah.
We get a little Fandango promo next on Raw.
Yeah.
Go to commercial.
Smiley's favorite.
I think Fandango's growing on me.
Yeah, well, this was done well. That's why. I think
Well,
this
'cause
is the
they
first time it was really done well.
They've drawn out the I'm not wrestling thing for a little bit too long, like
Right.
a week or two too long, and now
Maybe a show. Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say it should never have happened in the first place, but I couldn't think of a clever way to say it.
I mean, they've been playing out his promos for what, a year now?
Fandango? No.
How long have
few
they been
months?
doing that?
Yeah, a few months.
Just a few months?
Yeah.
But I'm pissed off about what they did last week with what's her name? Natalia? Freaking Jim Neidhart's daughter.
Oh, Natalia.
Natalia. Yeah, and he's like, he did the same thing he did with Naomi. You know, hey, my sweet Canadian. And then she was like, I was hoping they were going to play on the whole thing like he swoons these wrestlers like women away. And then, they mess it up. So I was a little disappointed last week. I think what they did this week with Fandango, it's fantastic.
I think
It made
he'll
up
eventually
totally
get
for it.
one of the girls.
Yeah.
I think he should be getting all of them.
This was, but the whole entrance was
Kinda
great.
crazy.
They expanded on the entrance a bit too, and I liked that. I liked the
He
whole
gets
entrance.
a lot of stuff for being such a new guy. I mean, he's got the
Well, I mean, he's not a new guy.
This is Dirty
It's a
Curdy
new
we're talking
character,
about.
No, I know
so
that,
he's been
but-
around for a while.
yeah.
So this is a repackaging, but
He does have a really good entrance though.
entrance is fantastic. Yeah, entrance was great tonight. So I liked the whole bit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his in-ring debut. And did you notice the huge Fandango sign? Like it was 4 or 5 poster
No, I
boards
didn't.
long. Yeah, just a quick flash of it in the crowd, and it was like 4 or 5 guys all with Fandango.
Oh wow.
But lots of booing when he entered.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of heat from Philly.
Yeah.
They don't like a dancing man.
So on SmackDown Friday, did either of you catch it with Fandango and Jericho?
No, I did not watch.
Right after, and
SmackDown.
I was kind of mad that they didn't recap that. Out of everything that they recapped, and I mean,
Should have done
They-
it because
they
it threw me off.
promoted-
'Cause
yeah.
I didn't catch SmackDown either. I had to ask you, like, what happened on SmackDown now?
well, they promoted Rock and Cena talking at the end so much that they could have spared 10 seconds to recap SmackDown because it was really needed. I mean, they had right after Jericho's match on SmackDown, Fandango comes out and basically just like clocks him. Like he jumps, kicks him through.
Is that where
the
he
ring.
had the
Yeah.
little shiner from?
Yeah, clocks him right in the head.
Gotcha.
So I was actually really surprised that they didn't show that, even just a short clip. But he's
So when Fandango's in the middle of his fun and then break the wall down.
Okay, now I gotta say something. Now they're saying Jericho comes out because this is not his scheduled opponent. Jericho's supposed to face Dolph Ziggler. But who's Fandango supposed to face? They never told us who Fandango's opponent is. did they?
$10. It was JTG.
But yeah,
back there
but
going,
they
"Hey,
never
Mom, I'm
said
gonna be on
it.
TV."
But I think it's kind of silly. It's like they're telling us, well, Jericho's supposed to wrestle Ziggler later, and this was not the scheduled opponent. But who was?
yeah.
Forgot that.
Well, whatever, right? You don't like that when they.
I don't like I don't like
make
logic
sense,
apps.
right?
No, because it's very simple. It's to me
easy-
that's just
Just
somebody
show JTG
somebody's
back
not
there,
paying
like,
attention.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Then Jericho runs by him.
I liked it though. I feel like it's
I like this whole bit, this whole segment, because
2 for the price of 1.
yeah.
So yeah.
So I
Tom,
guess so
tell me about
Jericho.
this.
Okay.
tell me about what you saw here. Like, I heard something over the mic, but you were confirming it when you got here.
Yeah, I got, and I got to give it a shout out to Sam Fimes, one of our fans out there, who shot me a Facebook message about this, because I didn't catch it. I guess so. Jericho comes running down, and they get into it. Then I guess we need to talk about that later, because Fandango comes back down. That part happened after.
That
happens later. Yeah. So we'll get into that after.
Yeah,
so Jericho comes running down and attacks
runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dolph Ziggler comes right out with his big man and his little girl.
His posse.
And now here's the thing I did like. They're like, this match was supposed to be later tonight, but now we're getting word that they're just, Jericho's in the ring, so we're making it now. So I like that little
back there?
That little addition.
The game. He's out of the game right now. This is just chaos.
I like that, but I still wanted to know who Fandango was supposed to wrestle.
Yeah. Jericho seemed pretty fired up after all of that, though.
That's right, baby.
They go to commercial. Are you ready to talk about commercial and then what happens after? I don't know if you had anything else to say.
No, I'm good. Let's chug along. Come on, Kathy Kelly.
So when they come back from commercial, they say that on the Raw Active app, Big E interfered, pulled Jericho feet first from the ring while the ref was being distracted. And I think Lawler actually said that AJ's new name for Ziggler is Ziggles.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, you don't call him Ziggles?
Ziggles.
I think they were calling him Ziggy for a while. Need a new one.
Yeah.
Need a new shirt, maybe.
Ziggles.
I love Ziggles.
All right.
I heart Ziggles.
I heart Ziggles.
Weird. Okay.
So yeah, sorry.
Oh. Also, I wanted to point out, which I pointed out to Josh while it was going on, someone lifted a little ginger kid in the air, and I just thought it was so funny. Yeah.
Was it like a little Sheamus?
It was like the Lion King.
Oh, that's funny.
It was like get your kid on TV. It's like this little 3-year-old toddler. He just lifts him in the air, and I just pointed out. I was like, oh my gosh.
This is crazy.
But yeah. So Jericho ended up drop kicking E off the apron at one point, and Ziggler then countered, or they did, Jericho did those walls of Jericho. Ziggler countered it and then got him back into the walls of Jericho.
He tried to tap the Famouser or something, and he caught it and got him
trying to do all the moves.
You're trying to do it all. You're getting there. You know what though? I'm impressed.
Bear with me.
And you don't have Gorilla Monsoon to learn all the moves like I did, because he actually used to say what it was. You've got Michael Cole going, vintage Randy Orton, what a slam!
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't talk about the
Raven
moves like they once
says Morrison used to call. He calls him Ziggles.
Oh, okay.
So there it is.
I just got that text
as well. So she's been talking to Morrison apparently.
It's cute. So after the match, out of nowhere, Big E clocks Jericho.
Yeah, I thought this is a pretty good match too.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good for especially really the first match of the night.
It was the first hour was very fast paced.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a good first hour, because last week the first hour just dragged. It was a terrible first hour last week.
Yeah. So Dolph and the crew leave. Fandango comes out again.
Beats crap out of Y2J.
Yeah.
People are chanting, "You can't wrestle! You can't wrestle!" And he's like, and he gets on the top rope.
He's
and
getting
does
so angry. Yeah.
Leg drop off the top rope, and everybody just shuts up.
And first thing I saw when I went that, and I'm like, oh, why would you pick that for your finisher? You have to do that every night.
Single time.
Hogan, do you know what?
Looks so cool though.
Do you know what hip problems Hulk Hogan has just from dropping the leg drop all those years? Not from the top rope, just bouncing off.
He said he's like 3 inches shorter nowadays too.
Yeah, that's.
From all the surgeries and doing a leg drop.
God bless him, but I wouldn't. That's not a move I would be doing.
Yeah, I looked up Fandango's Twitter after this match, or after he came back out, and he had a tweet from earlier today, and he was like, "I'm 7% body fat on the reg." That was all it said. I loved it.
That's funny.
In case y'all were wondering, it's like no one even.
Okay, so I guess now we can talk about what what we heard. Now, so you did actually hear, and this once again, Sam sent a message saying this. So you could actually audibly hear it because the mic was so close. As Jericho was down and Curtis was up there with the microphone, Jericho's yelling at him, "Don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything." He obviously didn't want him to cut a promo. He was feeling the crowd and he was giving him instructions. So what does Curtis do? And then Jericho starts even tugging on his leg. So what does Curtis do? Exactly what Jericho told him not to, and cuts his little promo. What did he say? "That's my name, Fandango," or something.
Well,
I forget what he said.
Not into the mic really, but he was shaking him like.
No. He said something. No. This is at the end. This is all. He sits there after that, and then he's got the mic in hand, and he says something like, "That's my name." I forget what it was, but it was his go home line. Right before them, Jericho saying, "Don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything." He says that, and then Jericho goes, "Listen to me." So you could tell this is a case of a young wrestler who's not listening to a veteran in the ring. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of Jericho, we had an amazing interview with him a couple weeks back, which you can check out on iTunes. So if you are watching us on YouTube or watching us on AfterBuzzTV.com live, then also make sure to check out iTunes. You can go over there, type in AfterBuzz TV, and subscribe to our channel. Download all of the Raw after shows, and we also have several other WWE shows on our network, so be sure to check those out as well.
Do it.
Yeah,
also,
do it.
Rate and comment and tell a friend. We would love you forever if you did.
Forever. You'll love him forever?
I'll be your best friend forever.
That's a promise. Because Kathy Kelly never tells a lie. She just steals people's hosting positions.
I do.
I know.
I don't know what's going to happen.
No more Smiley?
Smiley's not coming back.
No.
Well,
Smiley!
Depends.
Until the people start screaming for him after this week.
I guarantee you have no idea, Josh. Last week in chat roll, everyone was like, "Where's Padgett? Where's Padgett?" They were so bummed.
Thank you, everyone.
You have
Thank
some
you.
fans.
Feels good to be
We fired him, but back due to popular demand, Josh Padgett.
Female demo.
It was all Smiley. Smiley was keeping him out, so that's why we got rid of Smiley, because we'd rather have Josh.
Sweet.
Next week, if he's back, feud.
Maybe we'll bring the
going
gang
down.
back together next week. We'll see.
The gang. We also
Can we
promo next week?
Yeah,
we have a very special guest coming in next week.
I'm excited for this one.
Dennis Haskins himself. You might know him from Saved by the Bell, Mr. Belding.
Yeah.
Also a huge WWE fan.
Has hosted Raw, I believe. He's done a bunch of stuff with WWE. So, and there was even a rumor. We'll have to get into it with him next week. There was even a rumor that they were trying to get him to come in to be the GM at one point.
Really?
So there was
Raw or
of Raw when they were looking for a new GM. There was rumors that they were negotiating with him.
Wow.
So
I don't know if I could see that.
We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to ask him about it next week. Yeah, that would be great. That would have been awesome to have Mr. Belding. Better than Vicky Guerrero
He can be
right
the
now.
GM of AfterBuzz Raw.
Perfect.
That works for you. So they preview a no-holds-barred match, the one between Triple H and Lesnar, and come back with a WrestleMania video after the break. Matt Striker and Sheamus are backstage, and they recap SmackDown with Sheamus, Big Show, Orton, and The Shield.
Problems on SmackDown.
I'm glad that there was troubles on SmackDown, because on Raw I was a little upset that Big Show was just like, "Oh hey, yeah, well I'm here to help you now." You know, even though you guys punked me out last time when I tried to tell you I would help you guys out, I wanted there to be dissension. And like last Raw, I was like, no. Thank God on SmackDown they fixed it. You know, there was a lot of pushing and stuff because we need that. Because the Shield are gonna win.
And then this was good.
They said that they have to get over their differences, or else, you know, their team isn't going to work out. So Matt Striker starts asking Sheamus another question. And of course, the Shield comes out attacking Sheamus. It's pretty intense. I don't have anything written out.
And then,
they attack him. Then Randy comes in with a chair, gets one shot in. They take him out until the Big Show comes and runs him off.
And he just throws him out of there, get him out.
Yeah, they really just runs him off. So
runs him off, and you know, the two other guys are beaten down,
and he helps him up.
He helps him up. So it's like good. This is good.
Yeah,
we know they'll be back later though.
But then the next match, Clum, this is gonna upset you, right? A legit tag team getting in a match against Mark Henry.
I mean, the Usos are just getting squashed everywhere now. So it's Mark Henry. So
well, it was a very short match. Henry won at what, like 138.
Dang,
something like that. Wow, are you taking times? Wow, look at you.
Just on that one.
Watch out, Smiley.
Because I knew it was going to be short.
Yeah, and I mean, basically, yeah, and it was the post-match beatdown as well was a part of it.
It wasn't that interesting, though, to me.
It's just trying to get him back over as a killer.
Does he really need to prove that he's that strong? I feel like we've seen this week after week, and we don't.
I think it's just, I mean, he hasn't been back that long, right? Exactly. And this is his first program back. So it's just them trying to reiterate him killing people like they did, because what they built him up was a couple summers ago as this big monster, and he's been out for a little bit. So I think it's just a little bit more of that freshening up in everyone's mind that he can destroy a bunch of people. And of course, this leads to Ryback wrestling 3 guys later on.
But if your matches are shorter than Khali's, like...
But
it kind of seems pointless.
No, because the idea of this is to make it look like he's this killer monster. So the idea around it is you have this tag team, the Usos, who are this, this great tag that have worked together. And if he can take them out in a minute, well, that just shows what an awesome guy Mark Henry is.
A 1-minute match with Mark Henry is a lot different than a 1-minute match with Khali.
It's different. Yeah, this is designed to make Mark look, like a monster. Mark can work long matches. Khali doesn't because
because
he's limited.
He's limited.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
So also Henry potentially suffered a leg injury at a house show this past week.
Let's hope that's okay.
He looked okay when he was out there, but
it's a quick match.
That's what we heard from Raven.
But that and that was online. And that could be one of the reasons for the short match as well tonight. Trying to keep him rested and protected until WrestleMania. You need to keep everybody healthy for WrestleMania.
So they preview what's up next: champion versus champion, Cesaro versus Del Rio. We go to commercial break.
Never before seen Cesaro versus Del Rio.
So it's a non-title match. Is Cesaro gonna win one finally?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm like, oh man, we just saw Usos versus Henry. Like we knew how that was gonna end. No, Cesaro on Raw. He's gonna. But could we be surprised?
The top of the second hour, Cesaro gets in the ring and shows off his title. Ricardo Rodriguez comes out with a cast on his left. Was it his left foot?
Yeah, it's always works the left.
Yeah,
it's the
and
left.
He says his ankle might be weak, but his voice is still strong.
Put it on a T-shirt. Ricardo, get that man some money.
It's so bad.
He struggled. He struggled through the intro.
A little bit.
Because that leg was hurting. He had to take a breath.
Yeah.
Hang in there, man. Hang in there.
So Del Rio comes out and the match begins. During the match, Swagger came out.
But Zeb came out first.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I thought this match was a little flat in the.
I feel like there was just so much going on.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of wasn't as strong as it could have been. But so yeah, Zeb came out and then Swagger came out and attacked Ricardo. Del Rio gets out of the ring to go save Ricardo and ends up counting out.
Yeah, and I like Swagger's T-shirt. That's a cool T-shirt. It's like a military tan, like a camouflage tan with Real American on the back. That's cool. And by the way, I didn't get to talk about this last week. I'm going to retract my comment from last week. Del Rio's new music, I don't like it.
Yeah, I do not like his new music at all.
When did you say that last week?
I said it in a.
You weren't here.
He said it in his Facebook tweet.
Cool. No. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, I like the horns at the beginning of the old one.
That's very Guerrero sounding. I'm a man with the people. Del Rio's about the people. He's but whatever.
Bad remix.
Yeah, and one thing, I'm not. I love it that this was, a count out victory is different, but we had 2 count out victories tonight.
Yeah, right.
And I'm not, it's kind of similar finishes. I think you should mix that up a bit. Just my personal opinion. But it seemed the post match activities here with. And
more interesting.
Yeah, and I guess not most post match. Towards the end of the match, where when Swagger came out, I think everything picked up a bit.
Yeah,
that's when that was the real meat of the story here.
But then after the match, when Del Rio went and started attacking Cesaro again, that made absolutely no sense.
Yeah,
man, chill out, dude. You're supposed to be a good guy.
Well, here's this too. His best friend is injured on the ground. He sees Cesaro just celebrating, so he goes in, puts him in the Car's arm breaker, leaving his buddy. I mean, he's a baby. babyface.
It's not
so
Cesaro's fault, though.
Yeah,
No,
Cesaro
it didn't.
was like pointing and laughing,
and
like,
Cesaro didn't do anything.
You stupid, you hurt your leg.
Yeah.
That's fine. But he was just celebrating.
And
Leave
we'll
the man
talk.
alone.
And there's another point. We'll get into it when it happens. But there's another point of baby faces attacking heels unprovoked later on.
Several times tonight.
Tonight, for
And that
sure.
happened last week too, didn't it?
Sheamus's whole gimmick is that.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I'm a good guy, but I pick fights.
some people can get away with it, but we'll talk about it later. But
Yeah.
there was another one
Despicable.
that didn't make sense.
And the crowd was not receptive to him beating the crap out of Cesaro. They're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
yeah.
you know.
And just everyone loves Cesaro. They're just Cesaro once again. Cesaro jobbing out. So every week this guy seems to be losing, even though he's the United States champion.
By the way, there was a workout video of Cesaro. He had like a whole press conference, everyone taking pictures where he was in front of like a Smith machine, and he took like what I think was
Was that
like
when
100.
he deadlifted Big E or whatever?
He was
someone talking
deadlifting
about?
a huge amount of weight. I didn't count it, but the one thing he did an overhead with like 133 pounds.
Look at those pit stains.
Yeah, baby.
Hot in here. I'm not used to wearing layers like this. Yeah.
Is that what
I'm
you wear at
calling you
work?
out.
Sometimes, you know.
Look at you, style.
But anyway,
You're
he
filling in
throws
for
it up.
Maddox, though.
Sure, unsure. But he throws it up, and then I'm like, okay, well, 130, I could probably, I might be able to get it, but that's not a big deal. Then he puts it back down and with one arm, boom, 133 pounds, one hand.
Yeah,
over.
he
He's
is a
holding it
strong
like it's
human
nothing.
being.
God, he's so strong.
Yeah, amazing.
So, anyway, that was my. Check it out, everyone.
They teased the segment to come with The Rock and Cena again. And then a little tease of Bryan and Kane backstage because their match is next. We go to commercial, come back from commercial, and Rock, they announce, has won the Best Male Butt Kicker Award at the
Nickelodeon.
Kids' Choice Awards.
Yeah, with the WWE title strapped around his waist, right? When he got it. No.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, no mention.
Yeah. Which you would think that's where he started his butt kicking.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Nickelodeon, the WWE Universe. Thank you. You know, I'll kick ass at WrestleMania. Or
This is
some mention.
This is my
Yeah.
kick bucking award. You know,
Yeah.
butting, from the Tooth Fairy.
he could
and
get
stuff.
something
No,
in, but
he should have. Yeah, despicable.
Well, when we came back from commercial, we go in ring to the primetime players. No afro this week.
No flapjack.
yeah. And did you hear what Cole said something about that too? That it was terrible last week.
It was just really like off-putting. It didn't
Yeah.
seem.
Well, that's
I
what
love
started the
it.
show, and that's almost what made the show feel weird last week.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning, it was just weird with that flapjack stuff. Like, what's going on here?
Did creative just tell him he can't do that anymore?
I don't know. I'm assuming creative told him to do it
I
last
don't
week.
understand why they
So
told him to do it. you
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
So as they're in the ring, Kane's pyro goes off, and
And here we go, Mr. Raven out there, pyro first. And he says Kane will lose
Yeah.
if that happens.
but
That's 2 weeks in a row, I think, right?
Oh, it's been proven that theory
It's not
is
right.
not a theory that has been completely shut down.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's like it's 50-50.
so the match between Kane and Kane Bryan versus the prime time players. Struggling over my words right now. It's a non-title match, and Dolph and Big E and AJ all come out to spectate
Yes.
this match, see what they're up against for WrestleMania. I'm still kind of deciding whether I'm excited to see Dolph and Big E in a tag team match at WrestleMania.
I'm not.
You're not
No.
in the slightest?
No. I don't like the team. I don't like the
Yeah.
team up. I've said it before, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of. I think the whole group is just weird. I think Big E needs to be out on his own. I think he's a third wheel right now with them.
Well, I mean, he's going to be a fourth wheel in this because I feel like, I don't know. I get why they set that up because Kane and Bryan have both had history with AJ.
I understand why
yeah.
they did that because I mean they're together and you need to do something with Ziggler, so it makes sense. I just don't love their.
What would
their
you have done with
grouping, but
Ziggler then?
for
WrestleMania?
For Mania?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Put him with Jericho possibly, or do something. You'd have to reshuffle the card.
I mean, if
around.
you put him with Jericho, then you're just doing like rematches from last year.
You're
on
redoing something. Yeah,
everything.
that's true. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with him honestly. But
I like this. Dolph is like the fastest superstar on the Raw roster,
Yeah.
and Big E is like the strongest, you know. And it would be a really cool dynamic to see the fastest guy with the strongest guy.
Yeah.
So we just gotta see WrestleMania. They'll make it happen.
And I feel right now they are, I think, treading water a little bit with Dolph right now. I think they're kind of waiting because it does feel like I've kept saying I'd like to see this too, and it feels like they will lead up to this. That they're going to lead up to almost his briefcase being cashed in closer to the Money in the Bank, so an expiration date starts to hit it. So until that point, I think they're just treading water with him storyline wise until they can get into that story.
And then he could potentially have 2 titles if he has a tag team title from
possibly
WrestleMania.
Possibly.
But everyone always says that they bring them down before they build them back up again.
And it would make sense too to finally take the titles off of Team Hell No. They've had them for a bit, and I think the shine's worn off Team Hell No a bit. You know, they're just kind of there now.
Well, the storyline is that they're splitting up eventually.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I mean, that started in the summer. I can't believe that team's been gone as long as it has.
It was the best thing on the show for a long time.
Yeah.
But one cool thing would be WrestleMania. These guys win the titles, and then Dolph turns around and cashes it in on Del Rio or Swagger. And now all of a sudden,
I don't think they'll cash in a Mania.
This team has nothing, and now all of a sudden, oh my God, they got all the titles.
It would be exciting if he cashed in a Mania.
I don't think he will. I think maybe you'll see a tease, but I don't think he'll get it. I could be wrong.
They should tease it again though, because.
I don't think they will at Mania. I don't think you need it.
But
like I said, I think the story is later. You don't need to do it. Wait until after Mania, until closer to Money in the Bank to start teasing it again.
Yeah. So winners end up being Kane and Daniel Bryan. I would have been surprised if Primetime Players had won that match.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
The primetime players at one point seemed like they were being primed to possibly run that division. Primed, yeah, no pun intended. But yeah, it seemed like they were getting ready to have them be like almost the flagship team of that division, and that plan seemed to have changed.
Yeah, now
I feel like they're just supposed to be the funny guys.
I don't think they'll ever have the title. I don't think they'll ever win it.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm guessing they'll be split up relatively soon. I think they're gonna take Darren Young away and push Titus.
As they should. I love Titus.
Yeah. So we head on over to a commercial. When we come back, we get a video package between Triple H and Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. Decent video package.
Yeah.
And then we go in ring. Triple H's music. He comes out. Got a standing O from the crowd.
Yeah. The game's back.
He is back.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that Triple H's career is on the line at WrestleMania, which we found out when he signed that contract.
Yeah. I'm not as thrilled. I mean, I guess the story might be he's going to lose and have to retire, but
every time that they lose and have to leave the WWE, you just come back a couple months later.
Here's the thing. Well, right. This is like his. I think this will be. I think what they're trying to say is his in-ring career will be over, and they're trying to say, that obviously that means a lot to him, and. But the one thing is, we all know, and storyline-wise as well, he has another bigger job running the whole company.
Yeah.
So to me, like, it's not that as big a deal. To it is a big deal because it's an in-ring career, and in his heart, he's a wrestler.
It should have been hand the company to me.
Yeah.
That's the stipulation. Who gives a crap about your in-ring?
Right, and honestly, from thinking just from motivation of like Punk and Heyman. If they had the power to put any stipulation, why wouldn't they go there?
If that was the stipulation,
that was all the stipulation. I mean, it can be any stipulation. Fine, every penny you have in the bank has to come to me if I win.
You destroy
no.
I mean,
I think that stipulation would have been cool, but then everyone would have known that Triple H was going to win. Do you really think that they would?
Well, I mean, he could still
then you have him lose
run
and
things, but like as far as storyline goes, Heyman's like on the website, Heyman takeover. Got Brock and CM Punk on both sides of him.
Just like
this is ours. Like
the Helmsley McMahon era was awesome when Vince lost the company to Triple H and Stephanie.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean that was a lot of fun.
You had to come, and then you have WWE Payback or Over the Limit or whatever. It's like, look, give me another shot.
Yeah, and then the McMahons have to take it back over.
And I'll do it in a hexagonal or octagon, whatever you want.
It's a classic.
Do it in a Lions Den match.
The Takeover's a classic story.
Yeah, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
But
So out comes the Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett. I like
Barrett.
that.
Wade Barrett, the Barrett Barrage.
And he does a brilliant head nod to Triple H. They have this little standoff in the aisle, and he's like, gone.
All right, I didn't think this was brilliant at all. I actually didn't like this.
You didn't?
With Barrett and Triple H?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I hate it, but
I think that was terrible.
What he could with.
No, why'd they punk out Wade Barrett?
No, it's stupid. He's Intercontinental champion.
He's Intercontinental champion. He walks out and Triple H kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah.
You're the good guy again, and you're.
Yeah, but all that was make Triple H, getting over on a champion, but it's pointless. There was no reason for it. He didn't need to do that. There was no necessary. All that did was hurt Barrett, and it didn't push Triple H really up at all.
It shows his aggression, though. Like, anything can set him off at this point.
Right, but why do it to Wade Barrett? Why take a champion and cut him down and cut his legs out like that, and now make him look stupid?
Especially
because they've been making him look stupid ever since that Bo Dallas thing.
Yeah, but but that doesn't still make it okay. There's no reason for Triple H to have done that. It didn't make Triple H look great. Like, if you're going to do that, it needs to make you look good.
That made Triple H, man.
And it needs to make the other guy look just as good. When you take him out, whenever you do a spot, you both should look better out of it. And all this does is cut Wade down and give a little bit of a boost to Triple H, but not enough to warrant doing that to Wade Barrett.
Right.
So I had a big issue with that. There was no reason for.
I still think it shows he's authoritative and
just wrong guy.
Yeah.
Wrong guy to do that.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
So after that whole spiel, Triple H walks out, and they end up starting the match with Wade Barrett versus The Miz. It's a non-title match, and we're about to start the match, and then they go to commercial 2 minutes in.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I was chirping off Kathy's ear about this, and this match right here, Wade, we start the match, Wade is still holding on to his groin, and he's like, I'm gonna fight. We needed so desperately a heel commentator. And this moment right here was the first time I went, my God, we need a Jesse the Body. We need a real Jerry Lawler.
JBL should be on
JBL should be on there all the time, because it was like you needed someone to say, look at this Intercontinental champion. He's so brave. He's sitting here fighting. He's facing Miz, and he doesn't even have to, and he's injured still.
Absolutely.
This is a despicable act by our CEO. All that stuff. And it was totally lacking. Michael Cole's like, all right, so here we go, and Jerry Lawler's just sitting there.
The commentary is very, very generic and milquetoast these days.
And Miz is taunting him. Oh, is your balls hurt? It's like, dude, man, you're the good guy. Like, leave the. I mean, I know, but it's Miz. He's
This was a really good match to me, right up until the false finishes. I thought the match was great up when Barrett hit his what's his site black hole slam type thing they call the winds of change, I think. I thought the match should have ended right there. I'm like, go over, like Barrett should have won. If they had cut the match there, that would have been a great match. And then from there, they just went into a whole bunch of false finishes.
Well, Josh and I mentioned that too.
Fell apart from there and dragged.
The false finishes were so weak. That was the problem.
You didn't believe any of them.
Yeah, because I mean, there was that one where like Miz was just looking at the ref.
Well, that's one thing I noticed with Miz in every match is he's got such big eyes that every time, like he's the first guy I've really noticed this with. Every time a 2 count is coming, I mean, he'll even arc his head back all the way back, and his eyes are wide open, staring at the ref. And I'm like, well, I see it. If you're wide awake, just kick out now. Like, just try to get your shoulder out.
A match is a story just like a movie, and just like movies have a natural ending, a natural time. Sometimes you'll watch a film and go, that if they should have cut about 20 minutes out of that movie, and it felt better and a better pacing. Matches are the same ways. I think there's a natural ending, a natural pacing to these things, and they went past that on this. This was a movie that went too long.
I liked the match overall.
Absolutely, it was a very good match overall. It's just I thought it should have ended, and I also didn't once again like the champion losing. I think it makes no sense.
Well, to be fair, Miz worked on Wade's injured balls like 4 times. It was like several inverted atomic drops. It was the guy caught in the rope.
But there's still no reason to always have your champions lose. They're the Intercontinental.
If you bring them down before you build them back up, they're going to build back up Wade Barrett.
They're the champion. It makes that belt mean nothing. So those titles don't mean anything. They're props. That's why it's a joke. Why even have them? other than their pretty shiny belts that the guys come down on.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to it, and it's some very simple writing that you just have to switch a little bit to make those things mean something. It's very nearsighted. I think it's almost like when you watch a movie where scenes are written around jokes. Oh, I have an idea. Let's do this, and it doesn't make. And let's screw logic and let's screw. We'll figure it out later. And you need to be thinking farther down the road. How does this thing affect 5 moves down? And they don't do that.
Yeah.
It's a game of chess.
Yeah, and it shows, and and because of that, things like titles don't mean anything. And I think the show could be much better if they thought ahead a little bit more.
I mean, here's the problem. Like, I mean, in the 80s, you had the jobber. You don't have the jobber anymore. And
It's a different
I think
world.
it's better. I think it's much better now because jobbers, it's like, oh, but again, you're going to run into that problem. Like, how often is Kofi going to lose to Cesaro or Wade Barrett? You're just going to bury these other guys who could be the champion as well.
You still have jobbers, or just different types of jobbers these days.
Right.
Like 3MB is kind of like jobbers. I mean,
right.
they're
The ultimate
they're not jobbers, but they serve the same purpose. They're enhancement talent. They're there to make people look better.
Yeah.
But jobbers these days now have fancy names and ring entrance and music. It's not just the local guy in his basic gear that just takes a squash match. The jobbers are different than they used to be, but jobbers still exist.
He's still jobbing.
Absolutely.
Miz ended up winning the match with a figure 4. Do you guys still like that he is using
I don't think
that
I
as
ever
his
liked it.
finisher? No.
No, never.
Ric Flair was supposed to be there tonight, right?
Yes.
What happened with that?
Blood clot or something. There was a
no.
complication, so he was.
Because he was supposed to be on the panel at the
Yes.
Q&A.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was taken to the hospital, and he was not there.
Yeah, he got released from the Philadelphia hospital.
Yeah, I think he's
being
okay.
Sent to Charlotte right now. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So backstage, Kane, Bryan, Caitlyn arguing about AJ. Caitlyn tells the boys to get over her. She's a
AJ's
crazy person. AJ is lurking in back, attacks Caitlyn, and does this mean that we're going to get
Thank God.
AJ versus Caitlyn at WrestleMania?
I wish we had Joey Styles here at this point.
But yeah, this was like, I was complaining to Kathy literally like 5 minutes before this promo. I was like, oh my God, like, we don't even have a Divas match set up. And like, what do we got, the Bellas and the Funkadactyls? Is that what we're going to get? Like, Caitlyn can't fight both Bellas. And then, yes, finally, AJ. So even now, my theory, Big E, Dolph, tag champs, he cashes in, world champ, AJ is the Divas champ. Woo! Look at that team now.
Power couple.
My God. Power trio. That'd be cool, but we'll see.
Well, it set up a match for later tonight. We went to commercial break, and then when we came back, in the ring was Khali dancing.
Khali's music.
Khali's dance is the best. It's just.
Yeah.
Ugh, awful.
Oh, dude. We got to go out to a club in Hollywood and just all dance like that. All dance like do the Khali.
Request a Bollywood
Maybe
song.
that can be the next. What was that stupid dance that you guys all the Harlem Shake?
Oh.
Maybe the Khali can be the next dance.
We'll do the.
I don't think that's gonna catch on.
Everyone get on your tout and do a Khali dance. Send them in.
So Khali is dancing in the ring with Justin Gabriel and Zack Ryder by his side. The Shield's music plays, and we begin the match.
So they're trying to mimic the super team. You got a big guy, and I mean it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not nearly the same.
No.
But yeah.
I love Ryder's tights still. By the way, the push me.
That's awesome.
No, okay, we were arguing over the last time.
Do you understand? You get that, right? What his tights mean, right? Since I know you're new to wrestling, you understand the joke about Ryder's tights, right?
No.
You don't? Okay, you really don't, right?
I'm like embarrassed right now. What
no,
is
it's fine. Okay, Zach, it says push me, right? And to be pushed in wrestling is have a good storyline and to be featured.
So he's basically begging for one.
Right, because he's had his push cut, so he put the button and it says push me, so it's a little, and he actually tweeted a picture to Vince McMahon on Twitter.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just once again Zack Ryder speaking out, which is clever.
I was gonna say, when was the last time we saw him on Raw?
Oh, I don't know. Has it been a minute?
I think so.
I didn't think so because I remember us talking about the Push Me trunks.
Yeah, I mean, he popped up a few weeks, so we've seen those Push Me trunks
but
before.
very, very little.
Yeah, he doesn't
and then
show up
they
very
snubbed
often.
him like during the.
And I can't remember. There's like 9 hours of programming a week, and so it's like, was that SmackDown or Raw, main event, or Saturday Morning Slam, or Superstars, or did he make a special appearance on NXT this week? Yeah,
him and Cesaro had an awesome match last week, and I think it was on Saturday Morning Slam. But I can't. I can't
may have
be
been
sure.
main event.
So
I can't
awesome
remember.
match on Saturday Morning Slam.
Saturday Morning Slam's cool.
Hey, now it's a good show.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad show. I'm just saying that they usually save their good stuff for the other shows.
Main event has usually the best matches of the week.
For sure.
Main event is, in my opinion, main event's right now the best show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only an hour.
Well, it's an hour of mostly of like some really good wrestling.
Because it's quality over quantity.
For WWE, yeah, it's their style.
Dolph Ziggler had an amazing promo. Like his best promo ever was on Cena, and it was on main event. It was awesome. They got some good stuff over there.
Very good stuff.
Should check it out. Christian Rosenberg, Corey Take.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess we should give a plug to our newest
show,
AfterBuzz wrestling show.
Thursday nights, right here on AfterBuzz, we have our main event show.
Yeah, they're
popping.
They've done 3 weeks, I think, already. Their fourth show coming up. So
yes. So that was a really quick match.
Yeah, I want to talk to you. What's that stretch? So Ambrose puts him in kind of like an Indian stretch. I don't know what that move was, and he tags Rollins in immediately and then rolls Gabriel up in it. He had his knees in his back.
I don't remember. I may have looked away at this point.
So he crossed his legs like that and then wrapped him up. It was kind of like a Daniel Bryan Indian stretch thing. And then Seth Rollins jumps off the top rope and just that knee right into his face. 1, 2, 3, done. Shield. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Khali starts to beat the crap out of him, right? And then they beat the crap out of him.
Triple power bomb.
Yeah.
And it looked, Khali was screaming.
Oh
he rolled out of the ring, and I feel like that was real pain.
I don't know.
That man hadn't taken a bump in 4 years.
That was a big bump.
Because usually we don't hear anything out of him. I mean, good or bad. Like that had to.
Oh yeah, I mean
hurt his joints.
He's a big dude. Yeah, I mean,
and then the super team comes out. The super team comes out. They surround the ring.
Well, first you had Sheamus and Orton came down from. Sheamus came out first, I think, right?
Right,
and then Orton's music hit, and then Orton came down. The two of them came down, and then
Shield turns around, and then Big Show's right there.
came through the audience. Yeah,
right. And they're surrounding the ring, and they jump in the ring. They start fighting. Shield escape.
No, they beat him up and threw him out. They beat him up,
threw him out, and then Kathy's like, "Whoa, Josh, rewind!" And then man, Khali's still laying down.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
They hopped over Khali to escape.
I missed that.
So sad. They clean him up during commercial break, take him out. Oh my gosh.
Oh, poor guy.
Poor Khali.
So sad. So they teased Rock and Cena Q&A again.
Are they having a match?
What?
Are they having a match anytime soon? What is that?
Who?
Oh.
Cena and Rock?
Cena and Rock? Oh, yeah.
You were making a joke?
It was one. But
well, we hadn't seen Rock in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I saw him on Leno, but G.I. Joe 2.
Yeah, he's the star of G.I. Joe, right? Doesn't he have some sort of belt or something?
Yeah, he's got
or championship title.
You're hating.
I know, I'm hating. I'm gonna get killed for it.
Are you Team Cena right now?
Yeah. Oh, I'm very much Team Cena this year. I do want Cena to win the title because at least then I'll be okay if Cena has the championship back. I won't be happy if The Rock continues with this, but. Cena loves the WWE. He's there every day. That guy works harder than anybody else. And so, yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that, and I think that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, and look, I love
story-wise too.
I love The Rock. I'm gonna see your movies, but yeah, you don't need.
G.I. Joe looks so good though.
It looks good.
Cool.
Yeah.
But now, she tells me something now. Like, you're in the industry, on that side of the industry. Like, that thing was supposed to come out in July.
I'm in what industry? TV or wrestling?
You're in production. Production and stuff. Yeah, you know about this stuff. And I heard because of 21 Jump Street, Channing Tatum was so hot right then. They're like, crap, because in the trailer back last year, they showed him like, oh, he dies like in the beginning of the movie. And they wanted to like, crap, Channing Tatum's hot again because of 21 Jump Street. Let's reshoot most of the movie.
Oh, is that what happened?
In there. And that's why it's being released now in March.
Oh, did they kill him off originally?
But now people have seen screenings of it, and he still dies like right at the beginning of the movie or something.
Yeah.
I think what I heard is I thought they were beefing up action scenes.
And then I also heard, So they were like, oh, this movie sucks. Like, let's make it better.
I thought they needed to beef up the action. I thought that's what they do a lot of times. They'll be like, there's not enough action and explosions. We need bigger scenes.
And the big thing with G.I. Joe is that they're actually doing moving seats in a lot of the theaters.
Moving
seats.
Oh, doing like a 4D type thing.
But we're off topic.
Okay,
so let's get back to Rock.
We don't want to get, even though it is, we are talking about The Rock and G.I. Joe.
We don't want to plug his movie if he's not plugging Raw.
Yeah.
Amen, Kathy.
That's right. You tell him, Kathy Kelly.
So in ring we have Sandow and Cody Rhodes. Sandow says this city is known for greasy sandwiches and a stadium with a prison inside of it.
Eagle Stadium. The most trashiest fans in the world. I
never knew that.
You know what? We actually forgot. We had Jericho with Josh Matthews before that.
And it's been confirmed.
And actually, before that, I'm actually not done with the Shield.
Let's go. Let's
backtrack, rewind.
Because we had a little request to talk about something from our friend Raven, and I actually think it's interesting, is talking about the Shield entrance at WrestleMania. How are they going to do that? Because they're going to be in a
big stadium.
Giant stadium. So are they going to be coming all the way down through the stadium? How are they going to do that with the Shield?
I think they just come out where the guys come out.
What if they do like SWAT style with the ropes? Like,
oh, that would be cool.
Awesome.
Oh, like a chopper. Can you imagine like a chopper came in and they repelled out of it into the middle of the ring?
Chopper. That would be
awesome, though. It would be awesome.
Cool.
Get on that WWE Black Hawk.
They could have a G.I. Joe promo right before it.
G.I. Joe, yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, Blackhawks come in, they repel out of that right into the ring.
Never gonna happen.
Be amazing.
It's not gonna happen.
Maybe during the Clinton era that would happen. Not nowadays.
Budget.
Not post Owen Hart. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vicky, not Bricky. Vicky has confirmed. Yeah, well, they just, I don't know. If they showed her, then they'd be like, where's Maddox?
They didn't show her. Yeah, he was just coming out of.
But yeah, Jericho, they confirmed it.
He's got his match.
Would have been a great day for Brad to fill in for Vicky, though.
And Jericho says, "Be careful what you ask for."
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
I like that.
Words to live by.
So yeah, Kathy, you were talking about the team Rhodes Scholars.
Rhodes Scholars.
Talking crap about Philadelphia.
They bring out the Bella twins as a consolation prize.
Look at that.
The Bellas.
Josh likes the consolation prize.
I like the Bellas.
Yeah, Bree. Bree is the one on the.
Is it Bree your favorite?
Trying to decide which the hotter one is.
Is Bree the one that does the little dance, the little hip dance?
The one without the big implants.
Okay.
I like the one with the smaller.
I mean, they're both gorgeous.
Wow.
They're twins.
They're both gorgeous.
The one that catches my eye a little bit more. The one that
like
was
Mary Kate and Ashley, where they're not exactly identical.
Yeah, Ashley. She did less cocaine, I think. So, or it's Hollywood. Yeah.
No, they're just not identical. They're fraternal.
Right. Oh, yeah.
The Olsen twins are?
Yeah.
They're
really?
identical,
No, they're
right?
identical, aren't they?
No, they're fraternal. Look it up.
Are they? Okay.
Saw it on Wikipedia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What? Identical fraternal.
Well, identical doesn't mean they look alike. Identical.
They look very similar to the human eye, but
embryos.
It has to do with the embryos.
You have to have exactly the same DNA. So even if you have a birthmark in a different place.
I mean, it's off subject, but yeah, I believe a fraternal twin is two separate eggs, and identicals is when the egg splits into two.
Right.
So
look at you.
I paid attention in biology class.
Brain on Brett.
We go to a commercial break.
There it is.
Come back with a video package of CM Punk. That was actually pretty good. And in the ring, Clay and Tensai.
Sweet tea, baby. He's Sweet Tea now.
And he's got the Funkadactyls.
Yeah.
They're dancing with Cameron and Naomi. And it begins the match. Rhodes Scholars versus Clay and Tensai. I still feel like they need a name.
Yeah, I would. They definitely need a name.
Even with him changing his own name, but they need something cohesive.
They need a team name. They need a team name.
I love them.
I like them.
I really like them. I think they're fun.
Yeah, and I'm glad Tensai's got something going now. He's been around a really long time, and it's when he came back, that Lord Tensai thing really didn't get over very well, and I'm glad he finally has something that they're doing with him. He's got a spot. So
Tensai's got his groove back.
Yeah, he does. I like it.
Yeah.
But here is this match is what I was talking about earlier about baby faces attacking unprovoked.
What, with Cameron and Naomi?
Yes.
Attacking the Bella twins.
Why? What did they do?
A couple weeks ago, they were talking trash to them in the back, and they were unprovoked.
Doesn't matter.
The Funkadactyls holding a grudge.
Doesn't matter. The Funkadactyls are baby faces. They're outside. The Bellas console. You know, Cody comes out. Bellas grab him, and out of nowhere, the Funkadactyls come blazing around the corner and jump on the girls and start beating them up. Why?
Yeah.
Why? And this wasn't even during the heat of the match. This was when Tensai and Brodus are beating the crap out of, you know, they're getting the win. They're up. Things are going great. They throw, you know, Cody gets out of the ring, and now the Funkadactyls have to get involved and go and attack the Bellas, and it makes absolutely
keep your women under control,
I'm fine with it, though, because they need some more feuds in the Divas division.
Right.
They need this to happen.
Yeah, right, but they could have done it different.
But you can't do it that way because they just did a heel thing. Like, you can't do that. Like, baby faces are not supposed to attack unprovoked unless you're a certain type, but the Funkadactyls are not that. The Bellas would have needed to do something for then the Funkadactyls to provoke them for them to come up, or their heels.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that I'm glad that another feud is finally arising.
Absolutely, but you need to do it correctly.
And it was a very easy fix.
And it could have been the girls screwed up. I mean, it could have been as easy as that the Funkadactyls blew a spot and attacked before they were supposed to, and it came off that way. So I don't know.
And I mean, there's been rumors about for the Divas match at WrestleMania, it could potentially be a 6-team or 6-woman.
I think 8-woman. I think is what I was. I think I was seeing 8. Possible.
Last I heard was 6-woman, but I mean, it could be Bellas and who else?
Bellas and AJ versus the Funkadactyls and Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, yeah.
I'd rather have Caitlyn and AJ one-on-one.
Because I think Alicia Fox was thrown in there. I think what I saw, I saw 8 different names.
Maria Menounos might be thrown in there.
Yeah, let's throw all the girls in there. Let's do it. Let's throw them all in the same match. Let's go.
It'd just be a cat fight.
Yeah.
You need to have some kind of structure to it.
No.
But Team Rhodes Scholars wins. Very short match.
Get a what is it? Disaster kick.
Disaster kick for the winner. Yeah.
So backstage, we see Ryback walking down the hallway, and then we go right to commercial break. When we come back from break, we're in the ring with 3MB. They're doing their little air guitar.
I like the 3MB. They have grown on. They've completely grown on me.
They've grown on me, and I don't really want to see them wrestle, kind of.
They're good. They're very good.
They do exactly what they need to do right now.
No,
they're there for exactly what they need to be.
Comedic relief.
That's what they are.
I understand that. I don't know. I'm not completely sold. They're growing on me. I'm just not completely sold yet. But at the same time, it took me a little while to. You know what I was sold on, though? That kick that Drew McIntyre gave Ryback to the face, though. That was great. That was awesome. Yeah.
And here's something I noticed I caught without any of y'all's help was when Ryback was shoulder blocking Drew into the corner. You know, when he has those injured ribs from a couple weeks ago, they're probably a little soft. He's doing that, and you see Drew look over at Heath because Heath is on the apron near him, and he just opens his eyes really big, and he's like, yes, yes. And as Ryback was like backing up, and then that's when Heath like ran over to him, and I was like, oh wow, they're getting a little talky tonight. But I noticed that little wrestlers talking.
I actually really liked this match. Like,
it was surprisingly.
A cool match. And, I mean, 3MB got some good offense in on this. Like they actually really looked good.
The finisher was so cool.
And here's the thing too: it's like you have all these squash matches all the time. You know, if these guys are tough and these guys put, you know, if Ryback has to struggle to win and win this match, it makes him look better. You know, it makes everybody look better. It makes the match look better. You know, he overcame something. You know, he's got, you know, intestinal fortitude. So this type of match, I think everybody looked great in this. I really enjoyed this match.
And I think it's cool because it makes Ryback look like he's trying to one-up Henry by taking on 3 guys instead of 2, which only sets up for next week, or for Friday rather, on SmackDown. There's going to be a weightlifting competition, which is something we've all wanted between Henry and Ryback.
Yeah, and I think this Ryback match may have been my favorite match of the night, actually.
It was
really
solid.
Yeah, I mean,
it was
because
fun,
everything, all the other matches, I mean, there were some decent matches, but all the other matches, I think there were some issues with them that I would like to see. And this one just was fun. It was a full-on entertaining match. I was fully entertained by this match.
And there was some Goldberg chants that started. Obviously, we're in Philadelphia, but when he picked up Jinder and Heath and did a double shell shock, the crowd shut the F up.
We haven't seen it in a while, so that was cool.
Haven't seen it in a while. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
Those are two big guys. I forget how big Jinder is.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
I was playing WWE 13. I go, why is Jinder so big? I looked him up. I went, oh my god. And that's what it reminded me tonight too.
6'4" or so,
He's
I think.
humongous.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
And then like watching Ryback, fight these guys, it looked like it was like I was watching a video game.
Yeah,
it was so
great.
cool. It was a good game.
So up next, they tease AJ and Caitlyn in a match. Finally, a Divas match.
Yeah, and a pretty good one actually. I thought this was
When was
decent.
the last time we heard
this?
these girls like music? Like I haven't heard AJ's music in a minute.
We haven't seen AJ wrestle in months.
Pretty much since she started dating
Before
Dolph.
she was GM.
Yeah.
Since and that was Raw 1000 in July when she was made that. So we haven't seen her in the ring yet.
Absolutely
8 months or
crazy.
so.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after we come back from commercial, we get this match between Caitlyn and AJ. It's a non-title match, but still pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. It was
So
really good match.
non-title match means champion's gonna lose.
Right? And what happened?
Champion lost.
Champion lost. Right.
With our second count out of the night.
She was second time. She was dominant. She was beating the crap out of AJ. AJ, she was smart. She took a page out of Dolph's playbook, rolled out the ring, moved out of the way of the spear. Caitlyn went headfirst in that barricade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count out.
Yep.
Out.
I mean, it was a short match, but I'm glad that we finally got something.
And I thought the girls did well. I thought it was entertaining for the short amount of time they were given, and the fact they were given a similar finish. I thought they did the best they could. I thought they did great.
Josh noticed that AJ's legs are getting thicker.
She's getting big.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
AJ's always had like big cat, big her
I mean,
thighs.
she's a very muscular girl. Yeah,
she's doing some Big E stuff because she's looking
preparing for.
Yeah, if you're going to step in the ring with a monster like Caitlyn, that girl's...
She's squatting like 200. Yeah, Caitlyn's a full-on bodybuilder.
Wow, yeah. Very impressive, though. So you have 2 count-out matches of the night. Which one would you have changed the ending to?
What was the other one? The Cesaro?
The Cesaro Del Rio.
I probably the girls.
Had a different ending?
Yeah, because you could do it with Cesaro. And I would have done, because that was a 2 champions, so I would have done the count out with them, and then done something differently over here. You could even done a disqualification if you didn't want someone to lose. Just not do another count out. Was there even a DQ tonight? I don't think there was. Was there?
No disqualification.
So we could have had a disqualification. Let's make it a little bit different. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's not like like that ruined the show or anything like that.
I was just happy to have a Divas match again.
Yeah. I mean, it's just personally, I would have. I think it would have been a simple stroke of a pen to change a little bit different. And let's not have 2 countouts. Let's do a DQ. But it's not a show killer by any stretch of the imagination.
I do really feel like the entire division is so much stronger though now that AJ's wrestling again and that the Bellas are back.
It's still
not where they want it to be, but I think that it's. I mean,
it's not
since Eve left.
It's not god awful anymore. It's they've got. Well, I mean, it still kind of is, but it's. They've got a bunch of young girls, and they're still building it. They're aware of it, and they've got a lot of girls that are going to be coming up in development over the next couple of years. I think they're really working on revamping that women's division, but it needs it. It needs it. You don't have a lot of. I don't think you have a lot of leaders right now. A lot of really great female wrestlers that are real veterans. Natalya is about it. Natalya and Layla, I guess.
Yeah.
But you lost Eve. The Bellas are back, but they're not great. They're not really known for their in-ring work. We lost Beth Phoenix,
But honestly, I'm happy to even see them on the mic just sometimes.
Oh no, they're great. They're great really, characters.
Yeah.
I mean, for their entrance alone, is great. So.
Yeah. So we go to commercial break. When we come back, there's a SmackDown plug that Rock returns to SmackDown on Friday. And Cole comes in with some breaking news. They officially announced the 6-man tag team match. Shield, Sheamus, or the Shield versus Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show.
Yeah. Which I get, I mean, they should have said it's officially just announcing Big Show as the partner in that, because that match was kind of already announced.
Yeah.
And because they pulled Ryback out of it.
I don't think it's a shocker or surprise to anyone.
No. It's just the wording they used that. I mean, that match officially was announced, but Ryback was in there before, and they didn't have another partner. So
yeah. So Lawler's in the ring. Tables, chairs, and podiums are set up, and it's finally, after they have, teased this throughout the night multiple times, The Rock and Cena Q&A. And out come Booker T, Mick Foley, Dusty Rhodes, and Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Should have been Ric Flair.
Ric Flair was supposed to be out there, but as we said earlier, he had a little bit of a scare, I guess, today, and had to leave.
Yeah. They go to commercial really quickly, come back, and the Q&A begins. Foley gives this amazing backhanded compliment to Cena, where he's like, I get a lot of flack for being a Cena fan, but I think you're great.
Yeah.
So people hate you, but I think you're still good. And out breaks a Cena sucks chant from the crowd. The crowd was really amped up tonight, I must say. Like,
it's Philly crowds are good
compared
crowds.
to like the past few weeks. Just even hearing any chances.
Yeah, well, it depends. It's really a city-to-city thing, and Philly is a great wrestling city, just like Chicago's another one. Like
Chicago.
Chicago's ridiculous.
Hometown.
You wanna go watch Money in the Bank, John Cena versus CM Punk when Punk comes out there.
Well, that's because it's his hometown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, exactly. And when Cena came on that, I've never heard a boo like that before. Go watch that. But Chicago's an amazing, amazing town for WWE.
Yeah.
Probably the best in the country. Probably number one.
It is.
Yeah, it's considered probably the best wrestling audience in the country. Yeah.
I miss it. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like the Q&A, for as much as it was teased tonight, and people are gonna hate me for this, but I feel like it was kind of boring.
It was.
No, it was
I thought
boring.
a lot of it was boring, and a lot of it was kind of rehashed stuff that we've heard before. I liked, though, the end of it when Cena got sour. When Cena went away, because for a year it's been the better man beat me, the better man beat me, and he went, you know what, I haven't said this, but you know what, the better man didn't beat me. I was the better guy, and I made a mistake. It's my fault that I lost. You didn't beat me, I beat me. I had to beat you with your own move in your own hometown, and my ego basically got a hold of me, and that is why I lost.
Yeah.
And so this sour grapes came out a little bit, and it gave Cena a little bit of an edge, and I liked it. That was the best part of that whole thing, I thought, was Cena at the end.
Yeah.
When you start getting aggressive Cena, I mean, it's just, he's so good.
Yes.
But they took how long to get to it? And they went, what, 20, 25 minutes over the hour? So
it went way too long, and it took way too long to get to that.
All of the questions were pretty much the same exact thing and phrased differently.
Yeah.
It could have been cut.
You gave each one of these legends their own entrance, and then you had to do a commercial break, and then you had to show out had The Rock come out. Should have just had all the legends sitting here.
Yeah.
Look who we have here sitting here with us, and just move it along, because we went over like 15 minutes.
Like he said,
it was at least 20.
Yeah.
And it was a really weird ending too, with like, you want to settle this right now.
Yeah, but I like what Cena said. He's going to hand The Rock a loss that's so devastating it will haunt him for the rest of his life. Yeah, I like that. That was the best part. Cena was great there.
Cena, 10-time champion. I can't win the big one.
Yeah, that whole thing was good too, about him not being able to win the big one, and the whole thing with Donovan McNabb. And so,
I will be the Donovan
But he's
McNabb
also
of...
self-admitted, or said last year was the worst year of my life. I completely admit that, and I understand it, and that is why I'm making this change this year.
Cena, I think, was if we're going Team Cena or Team Rock, I think Team Cena won definitely tonight. Personally, I think Team Cena won. What about you?
Team Cena won, but Rock
won the War of Words. Won the War of Words, I should say.
Okay.
The War of Words was won by Cena, in my opinion.
Yeah,
tonight.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, what does Rock have to say? I beat you last year. I'll beat you again.
And Rock had some good stuff, and the story about which we've all heard about him being broke at 23 and sleeping on pea-stained mattresses he pulled out of a dumpster at a hourly motel. If you've read his book, he talks about that. So I mean,
I still enjoy hearing that personal stuff. I feel like it makes him more relatable in a weird way.
I do too. I didn't hear anything new tonight. And I guess that's just part of it for me. Is everything The Rock said, everything I heard him say tonight was a bit rehashed, and not just rehashed from
this entire
previous
segment was
right. But like if you followed The Rock over the years, he didn't say anything new that you wouldn't know. I thought Cena hit on some really good stuff tonight, but The Rock was. Yeah, I mean, he was The Rock. He's always entertaining. He's always charismatic. You know, he could read the phone. He could read the phone book and be entertaining. Right. But yeah, content-wise, Cena was there.
So Rock ended up leaving with the belt, and that's how Raw ends.
Well, no, Rock beat up they got into their little thing.
I thought we mentioned that.
Yeah,
he laid down an attitude adjustment.
Okay. Did we talk about that? I didn't think we.
Well, I mean, we briefly grazed over it.
Nose to nose, Cena starts doing his little "you can't see me" because first of all they said like let's get into it now. So Cena very slowly starts to take off his shirt, takes off his chain. Kisses it, puts it down.
That's
walks
when you
over.
knew that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
I was excited for like the last 2 minutes.
They were milking, you know, trying to milk the crowd, milk that. He gets up, does his "you can't see me." Rock pushes him. He comes up, gets him up for the AA, and then switches it into a rock bottom and totally punked out Cena, which felt weird.
It was. I mean, even when. Like after Rock left, Cena just had this sad puppy dog look on his face that made him kind of look weak.
Yeah,
but I'm okay with this. It's like it's showing him like next week they can say like, look, Cena, Rock's got your number. Just like Punk had your number.
Put the doubt in his head again.
But you overtook that. You know, Punk beat you for like 2 years straight, but you beat him a few weeks ago at Raw. You can overcome this. You can beat The Rock at WrestleMania 29.
I think Martin's trying to get us out of here.
I was trying to rap and you wouldn't let me, Clum.
I'm sorry.
I got the sign. Okay, well, we'll see who's here next week. Will it be Josh? Will it be Katz? Will it be neither of them? We know that Dennis Haskins is going to come in and join us.
Maybe he'll just do the show by himself.
In the meantime, where can people find you?
You can find me at Cluminator on Twitter, or I haven't been plugging, but I got a new Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook.
Fancy.
At Ryan J. Morals. So I have a actual wrestling
Not Ryan
Facebook.
Cookie Clum?
No,
you
not
should
Ryan
make one of those pages.
No, I don't think there'll be a Cookie Clum page. But yeah, Ryan J. Morals on Facebook. So if you are a Facebooker, not a Twitter person, and want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook at Ryan J. Morals.
Josh.
You can find me on Twitter, Showtime Josh. Showtime Josh.
Any shows to plug?
Well, you know, we always got White on Rice on Spreecast. You can check that out. You can go check out Main Event AfterBuzz. We already mentioned that. Check it out.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. You can find all of us on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. You can also check me out April 4th on the Schmoes Knows podcast. And check out our entire Raw crew WrestleMania live event at the John Lovitz Theater, April 7th. You will be able to find tickets online later this week or buy them in person at the John Lovitz Comedy Club.
Perfect.
So check it out. We will be tweeting all of the info.
Limited
Facebooking
seating?
it. Yes, limited seating. So purchase your tickets as soon as possible. Special guests galore.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun night. So
awesome.
Definitely check it out. Till next week. See ya.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Yeah.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.